All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Final Fantasy XIV. Now, you guys know my history with Final Fantasy XIV. If you've been watching my channel for any given amount of time, you've probably heard me talk about this game and how much I loved this game. I have about 4,000 some odd to maybe even almost 5,000 hours into this game. And I know it's not a lot for people who have been playing since 1.0 like me, but still, I played it pretty casually after the first initial game of Realm Reborn when it got remade and whatnot. But besides all that, the controversy around Final Fantasy XIV's latest expansion has been pretty crazy. And the reason why is quite simply, people don't like Wuk Lamat. Wuk Lamat is the main character in this expansion. It's not you, it's this character. And people are just sick and fed up with how much she gets spoken about in this game. And now finally, the mainstream gaming journalists have acknowledged that that is the truth.
Well, aren't we ungrateful? Mayhap I should revert you to the pathetic, faded thing you were.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, Emmett. Maybe if you got rid of that old yee-yee-ass haircut you've got, you'd get some bitches on your dick. Better yet, maybe Hypnotic will call your dog ass if he ever stops fucking with that brain surgeon or lawyer he's fucking with.
Meteor.
Now, the most amazing thing about all of this is that the mainstream gaming journalists did not want to acknowledge just how ham-fisted Wuk Lamat was in the story of Final Fantasy XIV's latest expansion. They didn't want to do it, right? They didn't want to do it. They wanted to ignore it, and they wanted to talk about how Sudden and Brave Dawntrail was because the voice actress for Wuk Lamat over at the US side was a trans person. That is the only reason what they wanted to, that's all they wanted to focus on, was just literally that. Well, now they have to sit here and admit that this character is heavily ham-fisted, and not only that, nobody can shut up about this character. We have a headline here from PC Gamer of all places that reads, not only did Final Fantasy XIV's controversial chatter, Wuk Lamat, rank first for words spoken in Dawntrail, Wuk Lamat was the most used phrase by the characters in second and third place as well. That's absolutely insane. The amount of times that Wuk Lamat's name is said in this game by either NPCs or the main character is literally so much that it ranked #1 out of all the phrases used in the expansion. That is crazy. So let's get into this article from PC Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says, wherever Wuk Lamat's not on screen, or whenever, all the other characters should be asking, where's Wuk Lamat? So it says Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail has a bit of a script issue. Several, in fact. And while there were certainly moments I enjoyed quite a lot, it marks an otherwise low point for the MMO's otherwise sterling reputation for emotive and impactful storytelling. Well, you know what's amazing to me is like the journalists will wait about 3 to 4 months, right, after what we say, and then they will repeat the same exact thing once they feel like it's safe to repeat the same exact thing. We were saying this ever since Dawntrail came out. I know I was when I was playing the game because I was going through it and I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on with this game right now? Why? And then the final battle with Wuk Lamat, the fact that she just runs in there like a Super Saiyan and saves all the Warriors of Light because she's clearly so powerful that she could single-handedly shield them from the final boss's attack when they themselves can't do it. 8 Warriors of Light can't do it, but Wuk Lamat, nope, she jumped down and she was like, here you go, mega shield of girl boss. It's like, it's insane. Now, don't get me wrong, the expansion overall is okay. I think it's like average, really, to be honest with you. It's nothing super exciting, and it's also nothing super boring either. It's kind of just basic average. And I think there is a level of like expecting, like, I feel like you could expect that to a degree, just because they're trying to build the next 10 years of lore, the next 10 years of storytelling. But that's also not an excuse for a really bad delivery, right? I can understand how the world building and the setup could be a little bit boring, especially when you came out of Endwalker. Endwalker was absolutely insane, right? It was the end of a 10-year storyline between Hydaelyn and Zodiac. So it was a huge storyline confrontation that had a lot of build up to it. It was the MCU of Final Fantasy XIV. So of course, Dawntrail, no matter what Dawntrail did, was never going to be able to live up to that level of hype from the previous expansion. But even with that being acknowledged, I feel like Dontrell definitely missed the mark in many different ways. So, but again, like I was saying, the journal is saying what we've been saying for months now. Many months later, it's just ridiculous, man. Get with the fucking times at this point. Among the complaints, one of which I share, is that Wuk Lamat is given way too much screen time. I agree. It's not even an indictment of the character herself. This person says, I actually happen to like her conceptually, and I was broadly charmed by her in the expansion's first few hours. But the writing weighs her so heavily, you get a little sick of her, no matter how much of a cat person you are. It's been known that Wuk Lamat has the most lines in the expansion's story by a long shot for a while. She has around 2,600, which is over 1,600 more lines than the next most verbose character in the script. But a recent additional analysis by Story Sleuth Turn a Blind Eye on the game subreddit has also revealed a new layer of overbearing. So this character, just so you guys are aware, this character speaks 1,000 more lines than the second most spoken character. That is how much she is in the story. That is how much she is annoying you. And that is just her. Imagine the NPCs that reference her. Oh, it gets ridiculous. Oh, let's go. See, they also went ahead and determined what the most used phrases were for each character, omitting common words like what, and so on. Not only is Wuk Lamat the most talkative out of the expansion's crew, she's also the name that the most often on the runner-ups' lips. Erenvale, Dontrell's second-ranking yapper, mentions her name 41 times, while Krill, coming in at a number 3, mentions her 44 times over the course of the story. What's more, synonyms for Wuk Lamat, which is Lamaiti, and Third Promise, are also tremendously common. Further analysis sees that in the entire script, these 3 synonyms are cumulatively spoken 468 times, or as user Silverstrife maths out, an average of once every 2.7 minutes during Dontrell's 21 hours of cutscenes if you spread them out. Bro, what the fuck? This woman gets mentioned in some way, shape, or form every almost 3 minutes during 21 hours of cutscenes. Every 3 minutes, Wuk Lamat, Wuk Lamat, Wuk Lamat. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is the definition of ham-fisted. In terms of raw words, Wuk Lamat spoke 35,019 compared to Erenville's 14,135 and Krill's 9,490. For context, a short novella is about 50,000 words, meaning that all of Wuk Lamat's raw wordage could literally almost fill a book. Bro, oh my god. Still, I personally maintain that Wuk Lamat isn't so much of a bad character as she's an easy target for the problems of Dontrell's writing. All the critiques I can level at her are easily applicable to how other characters are and act within the story. Yeah, that might be true, but there is a reason why this particular character is being ham-fisted more than every other character by a large margin, right? It's one thing to say, oh, well, every other character is just as annoying as Wuk Lamat. Okay, fine. That's okay. We could go with that narrative. But then why is it that Wuk Lamat has 4 to 5 times more wordage than any other character? It's insane. It's really insane. And I get it. She's supposed to be the main character of Dontrell. But we've seen other main characters not get anywhere near the amount of screen time and nowhere near the amount of wordage. What is the reason for this? I mean, you could pretty much make up your own mind from here. But for me personally, I don't like Wuk Lamat. I think she's a basic-ass character. I think she girl bosses it at the end. Even though she doesn't start off that way, she definitely ends that way. It's quite unfortunate, but that's how it goes anyway for the main story. And it's just one of those things where you're kind of forced to listen to it, right? You're kind of forced to pay attention to it. And even though you don't want to do it because she's very annoying and they make her very annoying, you still have to do it to progress in the story no matter what. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.